Let's pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessing descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen. Good morning, honorable members, and welcome to today's sitting. Clerk, let's start the business of the day.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
May I invite Honorable Nicholas Nzioka, the majority leader, to proceed and lay papers, after which Honorable Stephen Mwandi will proceed and lay another paper. You're most welcome. Honorable Minority, proceed.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order taken. Honorable Minority, have a seat.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I just want to seek your direction.
Yes. Yeah.
On whether, in the absence of the majority leader, who is supposed to lay a paper,
Yes.
whether instead is actually the minority leader who is supposed to take that position, because that is a guidance that actually must be given. Otherwise, we are likely to involve ourselves in some sort of conflict.
Correct.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Let me seek also guidance. You may have a seat, Honorable Minority. Honorable members, I have been guided that is a precedence that has been set that whenever the majority leader is there and there is something of the business of the House is supposed to conduct, the majority takes over, but where he has directed and delegated to a particular member, which is the case in this matter, he appointed or delegated to the minority leader, then the one who has been delegated to will take precedence. So at this point, I allow the minority leader to proceed.
Speaker, I think as a ranking member, I think I also need some hearing here because, Madam Speaker, I think while you're maybe referring to that precedence, the House standing orders take precedence. And Madam Speaker, I wish it was possible for the chair to quote maybe the standing order that directs that the leader of minority would take place. Because the House is clear, Madam Speaker, in this case. We have the majority side and the minority side. The roles are very clear. The roles of the majority side are there, and the role of the minority leader, even in the House business,
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, just this is my matter. Give me your protection. I am saying
Point
the
of
roles,
information, Madam
the
Speaker.
roles that are there are very distinct. The role of this House is very clear, and the role of this House is here. One of it is that the minority leader is
Madam
here
Speaker.
on behalf of the minority side.
Point
the
of order.
Speaker, majority side.
Allow
is,
him to finish.
Please, Deputy
you an
Speaker,
opportunity.
you are ranking member. Give me time. Let me just say this. Let us not, Madam Speaker, ask this impatience to find itself out of the hole, so that at least we can have some sober discussions here. This is not political. This is a matter of procedure. I am asking, Madam Speaker, this House is divided into two. We have the majority side and we have the minority side. The majority side chairs the House Business Committee. In the absence of the majority leader, the minority leader is delegated. That is why we are paying them. How, therefore, Madam Speaker, would you be able to jump and say that the majority leader is delegating his roles to the minority leader? This guy or this member has his clear functions. And at this moment, that Madam Speaker, I think the minority side has been mused for a very long time. It is wrong now, Madam Speaker, for the minority leader to come and start to
Point of
be doing business.
of information,
That
Madam
is for
Speaker.
the majority side.
Honorable-
Let the majority side take responsibility. They have that, and
Honorable-
they have more slots in the House Business Committee. If the majority leader is not there, the deputy is there. If the deputy is not there, there is already a member that
I
is
hear-
sitting there.
Honorable Ngunga, I hear you.
Madam Speaker, please, kindly, and I'm
I
saying
hear
this
you.
as a ranking member, as a
I
part of
hear
this
you.
House,
We also
so
rank-
And you have
that
made your
posterity.
point. You have
Thank
made
you.
your point.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Have a seat.
And this we must debate honestly speaking. Otherwise, you are killing this House, Madam Speaker. Time has come that the truth must be said. And I will stand for the truth. The minority leader
I
cannot
have
purport
said,
here.
Honorable Ngunga, you
Yes.
have made your point. Have a seat. This is a matter had already made a ruling. And it can't be opened up again. So therefore, because I gave a ruling saying that, yes, had
But
made
the
a
House
ruling.
has had me. The House has had me.
Yes.
And it has not had me for pain. I think corrections will come. Thank you, Madam Speaker. With a lot of respect, Madam Speaker, by the way. And I'm saying this as a scholar.
Madam Speaker,
Don't be defiant, Honorable Ngunga. Don't be defiant. Yes. Yeah, I'd made a ruling on that matter and I'd said, Honorable minority, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for that brilliant ruling. Before I lay the papers on table, I just want to inform my colleague, Honorable Ngunga, that I'm only tabling on behalf of Mheshimiwa Ngondi. And any member can be delegated to transact a business. And the business we've transacted, this assembly is not personal. It is an issue concerning our county. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following papers on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023. 1. Machakos County Public Market and Stores Regulation 2023. 2. Departmental Implementation Report for the Department of Public Health for the financial year 2022-2023. Number 3, paper 3. First quarter county receiver of revenue financial statement for the financial year 2023-2024. Paper number 4, county consolidated annual financial statement for financial year 2022-2023. Paper number 5, first quarter county receiver fund financial statement for financial year 2023-2024. And the last one is the first quarter county executive financial statement for the financial year 2023-2024. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. And the papers are committed to the following committee. Paper number 1, that is Machakos County Public Market and Stores Regulation 2023, is committed to the County Delegated Legislation Committee. Paper number 2, which is Departmental Implementation Report for the Department of Public Health for the financial year 2022-2023, is hereby committed to the Health and Emergency Services Committee. Paper number 3, first quarter county receiver of revenue financial statement for the financial year 2023-2024, is hereby committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. Paper number 4, which is a county consolidated annual financial statement for financial year 2022-2023, it's committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. Paper number 5, which is first quarter county receiver fund financial statement for financial year 2023-2024, it's committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. And finally, 6th paper, which is first quarter county executive financial statement for financial year 2023-2024, is committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. Thank you, honorable members. May I, at this point, call upon Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Vice Chairperson Committee on Appointments, to proceed and lay another paper.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Stephen Mwandi, representing the great people of Ekalakala. Madam Speaker, I wish to lay the following papers on the table of the Assembly today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023. The fourth report of the Committee on Appointments of the Third Assembly on the vetting of nominee for appointment for the position of member of the County Public Service Board of Machakos. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you very much, honorable member. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
May I, at this point, call upon Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Vice Chairperson, Committee on Appointment, to come forward and give a notice, after which Honorable Francis Ngunga will come forward as well and give another notice. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm giving the notice of motion, Madam Speaker, although I'm not so happy when Madam Speaker I see a member just raising up in this early morning to lecture this House on how ranking he is, Madam Speaker, and telling us things that are not in the law. He's not quoting anywhere in the standing orders that he's referring to. So being a ranking member does not mean that he or she knows everything. I think the House also needs to be respected, Madam Speaker, including the position of Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, if we all raise up and start lecturing this House that way, Madam Speaker, I don't think we'll be heading the right direction. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And so I'll read the notice of motion. That are aware that Section 58, subsection 1A and subsection B and Section 58A, subsection 7 of the County Governments Act read together with Section 9, subsection 1 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, and Standing Order number 179, Suborder 6 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders, the Committee on Appointments shall consider for approval by the Assembly appointments of members of County Public Service Board. I wish to give notice of motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its fourth report on vetting of nominee for appointment as member of County Public Service Board by Her Excellency, the Governor Machakos County, laid on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023, and Sections 9 of the Public Appointments, County Assembly's Approval Act 2017. This House approves the nomination of Mr. Christopher Mutua Mutie for appointment as member, County Public Service Board of Machakos. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. May I now invite Honorable Francis Ngunga, MCA Mua Ward, to come forward.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and the House at large. Members, good morning. I would also want to take this opportunity, Madam Speaker, to also take the advantage of this position you have given me to tell the DS that positions of responsibility are given and much is expected of them. As a leader of the House, Mheshimiwa DS, I think members don't kuteta. They ventilate, and this is always is for so. We have a lot of pressures that come from where we come from, and this is the hours of ventilation, Madam Speaker. So when we make this kind of these assertions, they should be taken in positive. Thank you, Madam Speaker. And so in that spirit, Madam Speaker, Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper, that aware that one of the functions of the County Assembly is to oversight county executives on projects implementation in all county executive departments. Aware that Article 188, read with the 4th schedule of the Constitution of Kenya 2010, clearly stipulates the functions of both national and county governments. Further, aware that one of the functions of the government is to offer services to Mwananchi through undertaking various projects. Informed that the county government has been undertaking such projects, and further aware that the members of the County Assembly, those are MCS, colleagues here, have had challenges in undertaking their oversight role. The lack of required contractual documents such as bill of quantities, otherwise known as BOQs, and drawings, architectural and structural designs, and contract documents. Informed that in each project being undertaken, there is a project management committee, known as PMC, appointed to monitor the implementation, and further aware that these PMCs are supposed to be appointed by the public in a public gathering, and cognizant that these PMCs are not usually trained to equip them with the requisite or required knowledge and skills to adequately supervise the implementation of the projects. Aware that complaints concerning the project's implementation process have been raised in most of the county department projects. Honorable Madam Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that the Assembly urges the county executive to do the following. One, to ensure all projects, bill of quantities, drawings, otherwise architectural and structural and contractual documents are availed to the public and a copy shared with the Assembly. And when I talk about Assembly, Madam Speaker, I mean the office of the MCA. B, to ensure all PMCs members are appointed from within the jurisdiction of the project in a public gathering at the gazetted venue of the projects in order to enhance effective and efficient oversight and ensure value for money. Madam Speaker, third, to formulate and forward to the Assembly for approval guidelines on appointment of membership to the PMCs. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and the House at large.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Next order.
Order number 7, statements.
May I, at this point, invite the Majority Leader to come forward and make a statement. And as it were, Minority Leader was holding his brief. May proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And before I table the statement, our standing orders are very clear. And I would request our colleagues, and more so Honorable Ngunga, to familiarize with the standing orders so that it does not bring chaos in the House. Honorable Speaker, once the ruling has been made by the Speaker, no member is supposed to continue speaking. That one means there is what you call disrespect. And Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I'm saying this
Point of order, Madam
because
Speaker,
if we don't follow what is in the standing orders.
Honorable
Is the member on a point of order or is laying a paper, Madam Speaker?
Minority Leader, proceed with the,
I think the point is at home.
thank you.
Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Tuesday, 14th November 2023 to prioritize business for the House. Business for the House as forwarded by the committees and the honorable members pursuant to provision of the Standing Order number 151, Sub-Order 6, Part D. The committee balloted business as follows. Wednesday morning, that is 15th November 2023, at 10 a.m. Report of the Committee on Appointment on vetting of a member of the County Public Service Board, Honorable, which is supposed to be brought by Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Vice Chair of that committee. Number 2, Wednesday afternoon, 15th November 2023, at 2:30 p.m. Response to the statement on Mudhwane Ward floodlights by Honorable Daniel Dwick, Chairperson, Lands and Energy Committee. And Part B, motion on provision of BOQs, design and contract documents for all Machakos County projects to be presided over by, or to be presented by Honorable Francis Ngunga, MCA Mua Ward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you, Honorable Minority. Let's proceed with the work. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, approval of report of Committee on Appointments on vetting of a member of the County Public Service Board.
Let's have that phone switched off. It's disrupting. May we have order in the House? At this point, I invite Honorable Stephen Mwandi, the Vice Chairperson, Committee on Appointments, to come forward and move that motion. Honorable Stephen Mwandi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is the fourth report of the Committee on Appointments of the Third Assembly on the vetting of nominee for appointment to the position of member of the County Public Service Board of Machakos. Madam Speaker, if you allow me, I will go straight to number 3. That is page.
Introduce the motion.
Sorry. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Section 58, subsection 1A and B, and Section 58A, subsection 7 of the County Governments Act, read together with Section 9, subsection 1 of the Public Appointments, County Assembly's Approval Act 2017 and Standing Order number 179, Sub-Order 6 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders, the Committee on Appointment shall consider for approval by the Assembly appointments of member of County Public Service Board. I wish to move the motion that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its fourth report on vetting of nominee for appointment as member County Public Service Board by Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County, laid on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023, and Section 9 of the Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act 2017, this House approves the nomination of Mr. Christopher Mutie for appointment as member County Public Service Board of Machakos. And so, Madam Speaker, I call upon Honorable Brian Kisila to second.
Honorable Brian Kisila. Thank you, Honorable Brian. I now propose the question that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointments in its fourth report on vetting on nominee for appointment as member of the County Public Service Board by Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County, laid on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023, and Section 9 of the Public Appointments County Assembly's Approval Act 2017, this House approves the nomination of Mr. Christopher Mutua Mutie for appointment as member, County Public Service Board of Machakos. I invite members to debate this motion, but before I do so, I'd like to invite the mover to come forward and give us highlights, and I would direct that unless it is necessary, you just take us through the forward and maybe the recommendations, and then we can now debate the matter. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with the forward, I'll start by number 1, which is preface, page 6, on the committee membership. The Committee on Appointments, as constituted by those, comprises of the following members: Honorable Ann Kiusa, the Speaker; Honorable Stephen Mwande, Deputy Speaker; Nicholas Nzioka, Leader of Majority; Honorable Judas Belindawa, Leader of Minority; Honorable Jackson Daka, Deputy Leader of Majority; Honorable Francis Kavio, Deputy Leader of Minority; Honorable Brian Kisila; Honorable Winfred Mutua; Honorable Francis Kitaka; and Honorable Peter Kilonzo. Madam Speaker, the next page is on the background, which I think maybe members could go through. So if allowed,
would just do the forward.
the
The
forward.
forward is the first one. Sorry? The
Thank you,
forward,
thank you, thank
the
you, Madam
first
Speaker.
page, yes.
Pursuant to Section 58, subsection 1A and B, and Section 58A, subsection 7 of the County Governments Act, Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County nominated Christopher Mutua Mutie as member of the County Public Service Board of Machakos. Notification of the nomination was conveyed to the Speaker of the County Assembly through letter reference GMC/000G/068/2020/23, dated February 27th, 2023, for the position of member of the County Public Service Board. On Wednesday, 25th October 2023, the Speaker of the County Assembly, pursuant to Standing Order 39 Sub-Order 1, read the message from Her Excellency the Governor Machakos County communicating the name of the nominee. Further, pursuant to Section 7, Subsection 1 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017 and Standing Order 184 Sub-Order 4, the name of the nominee was committed to the Committee on Appointments for approval hearings and reporting to the House within 21 days. Consequently, and in accordance with Article 196 Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution, Section 7, Subsection 5 and 10, Subsection 10 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017 and Standing Orders 42 Sub-Order 5 and 6, the Clerk of the Assembly of the County Assembly placed an advertisement in the print media on Friday, 27th October 2023, inviting the public to attend the approval hearings and or submit any information or comments on suitability or otherwise for appointment of the nominee. The submissions were to be by way of sworn affidavits and delivered to the office of the Clerk of the Assembly. By close of the submission deadline, the committee had not received any memoranda concerning the suitability of the nominee. In the same advertisement, the Clerk of the County Assembly notified members of the public that the Committee on Appointments would conduct the approval hearings on Monday, 6th November 2023. The nominee appeared before the committee and as scheduled for approval hearing in accordance with the Constitution, County Governments Act, Public Appointments, County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, and the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders. Pursuant to Section 7, Subsection 8 and 9, 8, 9, and Section 8 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, the committee observed that the nominee met the requirements of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, demonstrated knowledge on his roles, understood composition and functions of the County Public Service Board, and had requisite qualifications. The nominee, Mr. Christopher Mutua Mutie, scored above the pass mark of 60% set by the committee to be approved for appointment as member of County Public Service Board of Machakos. Having conducted the approval hearing for the nominee pursuant to Section 58 1A and B and Section 58A subsection 7 of the County Governments Act, Section 4 and 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, and standing under 184 sub-border 4, the committee recommends that the House approves the nomination of Mr. Christopher Mutua Mutie for appointment as member County Public Service Board and by Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County. The committee is grateful to the offices of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly for the support accorded to it during accomplishment of this duty. I wish to express my appreciation to the honorable members of the committee for their dedication and appreciation and participation in the exercise. On behalf of the Committee on Appointments and pursuant to Section 58 1A and B and Section 58A7 of the County Governments Act, Section 9 subsection 1 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, and standing order 179 suborder 6, it is now my duty and privilege to present to the House the fourth report of the Committee on Appointments on the approval hearing of the nominee for the position of member of County Public Service Board. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Perhaps you could just read the committee recommendation, just paragraph 49, the last one.
Committee recommendations. Madam Speaker, having conducted the approval hearings for the nominee pursuant to Section 58, 1B and Sections 58A, subsection 7, 8 and 9 of the County Governments Act 2012, as read together with Section 9, subsection 1 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approvals Act 2017, the committee recommends that this House 1 approves the nomination of Mr. Christopher Mutua Mutie for appointment as member of the County Public Service Board of Machakos by Her Excellency the Governor of Machakos County. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. And before I allow members to debate this matter, I want to make some observations and remind members that this is a house of order and house of procedures, and we must follow them to the letter. When a member is raising on a point of order, I demand that they state the order they are relying on, because that is a requirement. Yes. And when a member has requested to speak, ask the speaker to speak, to say something, let them wait until the speaker tells them to speak. The fact that you've raised your hand and I've seen it and I'm trying to come into terms to first of all remember the name and remember the word where you come from. I've realized some members just shoot up and start talking. Allow me to just mention your name and ask you to proceed and contribute. In that way, we are going to have an orderly house. So therefore, those are the observations I've made. And those are requirements of our standing orders. It's not my making. It's contained in this book. Thank you, members. Now let's debate this motion exhaustively. Who is going to start us off? Honorable Katangi, 001. Felix Ngoi, Honorable.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. and I'm Honorable Felix Ngoi, representing the people of Katangi. Madam Speaker, as I stand to support that we approve the nominee for the County Public Service Board, this morning members have been talking about seniority in this house. Madam Speaker, I wish to state that if it comes to seniority in this house, I served as a first member of this county assembly, and I believe me and Mheshimiwa Mwanga, we are the most senior in this assembly because we served in the first assembly. So when people are referring themselves to be fathers of the house, they are not. We could be called the fathers of the house, but not people who served in the second assembly. That was just a party shot. Madam Speaker, I stand here to support the motion that has been tabled with the Deputy Speaker that we approve one Christopher Motier to be a member for the County Public Service Board. I happen to have known Christopher Motier for a very long time, basically because we come from the same county, and I have worked with him in several fields in Nairobi. Madam Speaker, one Christopher Motier, I believe, is one of the most experienced people in Machakos County. I remember he worked as a senior manager with Kenya Commercial Bank. And there he did a marvelous job steering the KCB Bank, which used to record big profits in every financial year. And I believe he's able and equal to the task for being a member of the Machakos County Public Service Board. So, Madam Speaker, as I support we approve the motion, I want to believe that Christopher Motier is well experienced and he has the wisdom to lead the Machakos County Public Service Board. So in this case, Madam Speaker, I support that we approve the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Mwanga, sorry. Then Honorable Minority Leader, after which Honorable Kavyu. Did I see your hand up? Then Honorable Paul, in that order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance to contribute on the number report which is before the House. I want to start by congratulating the appointment committee for bringing forth the report to this House, while we have committees which have never tabled any report to this House, although their nature of work is different from the nature of other committees. I can see the Deputy Speaker smiling when I say that. Madam Speaker, I don't want to go where Mheshimiwa Katangi was before he contributed about the seniority in this House. But allow me say, if it is about the seniority, I entered this chamber in 2007. No, 2008, February on 28th. So if it is about seniority, others should not be talking about seniority. But that one doesn't matter. What matters it is that this is the third assembly, and we must perform our work as stipulated by the Constitution and the standing orders. Madam Speaker, on this report, one Christopher Motier is a person well known to me. Not echoing what Mheshimiwa Katanga said about his experience in the banking sector. Actually, he is one of those who meant the people of Masinga and Yata and the environs enjoy the services of Kenya Commercial Bank in Matu. What am I trying to say, Madam Speaker? In saying so, I want to mean that this is a person who is equal to the task. He is equal to the task of being the CEO or the Chief Officer of the County Public Service Board of Machakos. And Madam Speaker, without ado and without wasting much of time, I'm not suggesting that other members should not contribute. Madam Speaker, I interacted with these members, I know, and I know the mood of the House. So let's not waste a lot of time. let approve this nominee so that he can be appointed by Our Excellency and start working. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Thank you for your contribution. Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want also to give my sentiments on the motion before the House. Honorable Speaker, I happen to be a member of the Appointment Committee, and I took part in compiling this report. Honorable Speaker, the nominee we are talking about, his purpose spoke a lot for him. Leave about him defending himself. He has the richest CV. If we can compare other officers in this county, I don't know whether he's one who can match one Christopher Mutie. Honorable Speaker, coming to one-on-one interrogation. He was summoned by the committee in this chamber. He sat where I'm sitting, and members were on the other side. Honorable Speaker, that gentleman asked, what is required to hold that position? It is somebody who has what we call skills of expressing himself. Because that was one of the items we were looking. He presented himself and he satisfied the appointment committee that he qualifies to hold that position. So, Honorable Speaker, going by the route Honorable Mwanga is taking, we may labor a lot here. And I'm very sure, from the look of things, and by learning the mood of the House, I'm very sure almost every member here, every member is comfortable with this nominee. So I would request that, since you appointed Honorable Kavyu to speak after me, after him we just put the question, then we proceed to the other business. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kavyu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I believe that you're in a better position to dictate how this House operates, and sometimes I find it unfair. Once somebody has had an opportunity to contribute, I don't know what if there is a meter that is used to measure the mood of the House. So once somebody has an opportunity, let them just contribute and allow other members. And the Speaker, you are in charge. You will be able to tell whether there is need for the House to continue or not. So, secondly, Madam Speaker, I think I appreciate what Honorable Monga said. Being senior doesn't give somebody or any member an opportunity to mislead this House or to intimidate other people. If you are a senior person, have something of substance that we, the young or the people who recently joined this House, at least can have something to emulate and learn from them. Because it beats logic when once, and I don't know where he has gone, when Honorable Member for Mua argues to be the most senior person, but the president and the example that he's setting, there is nothing to admire. So, Madam Speaker, take charge of this House and ensure that there is order. There is a better way that we can raise our issues without having to interrupt or appear somehow to disregard the standing orders of this House. On the issue before the House, I think as a member of the appointment committee, I had an opportunity to interact and also vet the member that is being vetted for the member position for the board. And from the experience, Mr. Christopher Mutie boasts of 15 years experience in the both corporate and even in the business world. And on that account, Madam Speaker, I support the approval for him to join and provide that wealth of experience to our board. And I believe his experience will be critical in restructuring and also helping this government of Machakos County to move and ensure that we achieve the objective of the County Public Service Board. That is to ensure that we have a balance in our workforce and also to ensure that our workforce is well maintained, because we're still grappling with a challenge of employment, and I believe we need someone with experience to join hands with other members and provide a solution to this great county of Machakos. I therefore support the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Kavyu. Honorable Paul Wambua.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa hii fursa ya kuchangia mada hii. Ni kwanza ningeomba Mheshimiwa Spika utulinde sisi ambao tulikuja kwenye bunge hii kwa mara ya kwanza, kwa hii dhana kwamba wale walikuja mbele ndio wanaweza kutupa mwongozo. Hii ni nyumba yako, tupe mwongozo wewe mwenyewe kisheria. Cha pili, Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa niunge wenzangu mkono kusupport mada hii kwamba tumpe Mheshimiwa Mutie fursa ya kujiunga na bodi yetu ya uajiri katika kaunti yetu ya Machakos. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mutie ni mtu ambaye nimefanya kazi naye kwa miaka isiyopungua 5 kwenye benki ya Consolidated Bank na baadaye akaenda katika KCB, na ni mtu ambaye nimemjua kuwa mchapakazi, ni mtu mwaminifu, na kwamba ataisaidia bodi yetu kufanya kazi yake. Mheshimiwa Spika, bila kuharibu wakati, ningeomba pia mada hii uweze kuifungia mjadala alafu tusonge mbele. Asante sana.
Honorable Paul, kusupport ni kuunga mkono. So when you start with English, you end with English. Thank you. Honorable Brian Kisila, then we have Honorable Maike, then Honorable Helen Ndeti. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First of all, I'd like to diffuse the superiority wars which are going around here. Some people are more senior than others. Politics is like a football match. When you are starting the match, you are equal. But after 90 minutes, it's when you know who wins. When we came to this assembly, all of us were equal. And we remain equal until after 5 years. So let nobody try to intimidate other members here that is a mother or is a father of this house. There is no title like mother and father of the house. And let people stop misusing words here. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I want you to stamp your authority on members. Some members are pretending to be more, it's like they know more than us. And they like shooting, even when you are not giving them permission. When I raised my hand here, I was raising my hand to actually say exactly what you said. That if you stand up with a point of order, quote the point of order. So let us stop these superiority wars in this assembly. And let us stop intimidating members by years you have been in this assembly. The ultimate senior person will be the voter after 5 years. That is a person we should all say they are senior. And Madam Speaker, I was in the second assembly and I saw people behaving like this, trying to make others look more inferior than others. But this house has a very rich history of taming those kind of characters. I want to support the motion. I interacted with this candidate. He comes from the corporate world. He's very articulate about the issues which we as members of this assembly have been asking about. And I think he's the right candidate for this job. So, Madam Speaker, I support fully the motion, and I urge the House to pass the nomination of this candidate. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Maike.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I was consulting from Mother House. Even though she has categorically said that she no longer wants to be identified as Mother House. And to just echo what Mheshimiwa Kisila said, you know, there's a Kamba proverb that says, all people cannot be equal. We cannot deny the fact that they are, even in the National Assembly, which sets president and which we learn from there is what we call ranking members. And we must accept that a ranking member will remain to be a ranking member. And it's even, I saw when we were being sworn in, Madam Speaker, we never came, all of us running. So I'm standing to support the motion and first start by congratulating the appointment committee. Madam Speaker, as you know, it's not all about going through papers, setting up marks. It's usually a rigorous activity that comes with a lot of responsibility. I remember one time during, sometimes few months ago, some of us were even called somewhere to ascertain whether the papers of a certain person were real. And that's the point when I understood that some of the responsibility we have, even in appointment, vetting people, they just don't end there. They come with a lot of responsibility. So it's quite well, and as it has been echoed and as we have read through the report, is a person who will come with a lot of the much needed experience in the corporate world. And we believe the appointment of Christopher will help and will give Machakos County Assembly the expertise we need at this time for the purposes of going ahead. So I stand to support the motion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable Ndeti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand here to support this motion from the Appointments Committee. I have taken time to peruse the documents, and I have noticed that the Appointments Committee followed the expected procedure by ensuring that they have ensured that whatever is required for this candidate to qualify is observed, noted, and taken care of. What I would say is that apart from the credentials and even the experience from the banking industry, I've noticed that they have found him to have integrity. Integrity is very important for a person in such a position. And so I stand here to support the appointment of Christopher Mutua. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. May I call upon the mover of the motion to come and respond? Reply. The mover of the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. I think members have ventilated on the report. And Madam Speaker, according to what many members have said, is that the nominee and or prerequisite documents and qualifications to get this position. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. I now put the question that, taking into consideration the findings of the Committee on Appointment in its fourth report on vetting of nominee for appointment as member, County Public Service Board, by Her Excellency, the Governor of Machakos County, laid on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 15th November 2023, and Section 9 of the Public Appointments County Assemblies Approval Act 2017, this House approves the nomination of Mr. Christopher Mutua Mutie for appointment as member County Public Service Board of Machakos. As many are of the opinion, say aye. Aye. As many are of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. The House adjourns to Wednesday, 15th November 2023 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you, members.